let's have a beautiful experience. In this video, we're going to talk about some confidence hacks, talk about some drugs, talk about some love, how to make your penis bigger, how to naturally increase your testosterone and your human growth hormone. It's a beautiful thing. You gotta love it. All right, before we get started here, please do me a huge favor. Please ring the bell, subscribe to the channel, tell some friends. Of course, give me that Arthur Fonzarelli thumbs up like so I say, hey. And of course, follow me on my social media. I go by Jesus_Detroit on my Instagram, Snapchat, I'm YOUNGDAYGO. And like Rocky Balboa says, no bell. So make sure you ring the bell because I'm putting content out daily. And you know what we're all about here in the BCC, the Big Cock Consciousness, the Big Cock Collective, where I help you manifest a bigger, wider, thicker, longer, stronger, and harder penis, help you naturally raise your testosterone and your HGH. I'm a spiritual guide and a mentor. I'm here to expand your mind and increase your size. So without further ado, I'm here to tell you about some confidence. And yes, we got the ho grow going because it's the holiday time of year and I just want to spread some cheer. And you know me, every single day, I always, before my feet hit the ground, let's go ahead and start this off right. Go ahead and take this breath with me. I got a shot today. I feel beautiful. And that's the type of energy you got to go with. The gratitude attitude just to put you in the flow of letting you know that you're here for a reason. And when we're talking about confidence today, I'm talking about going with that wu-wei flow, the path of least resistance, the path that can let you grow. Talking about keeping it clear, because if you want beauty to appear, you got to keep this clear. And I just want you to know that any particular time that you might be in a type of conversation, situation, whatever it may be, and, certain people might happen to call you, shy, or why don't you talk, or how come you never say anything, this, that, or the other. You're really quiet. Like people, whatever. You got to understand this. Number one, it's a two-way street, three-way street, up and down, whatever's around, and everything essentially is a reflection anyway. So I can give you a quick hack right off the bat. Whenever you're in a situation where people are speaking, whatever they're talking about could be a topic that they might as well be speaking another language, because it's like when you just look at it like you're in a conversation with somebody that doesn't speak your language. And when you're like that, all you got to do is be present. And when you're present, that's when you're giving your presence of your love. And that's all you got to do. Just start loving yourself whenever you're in a situation that people are just, vibrating. And if you see that there's love in the air and there's some type of banter going on, just be present and just tell yourself, I feel beautiful. Whatever you got to say, just give yourself that confidence boost, because certain people might look at it like an insecurity, like, man, I want to be able to jump into this conversation, but like I said, I have no frame of reference, Donnie. I'll give you a quick, Big Lebowski. You're out of your element, Donnie. And that's how you are sometimes. Sometimes you're a Donnie in the situation. And when you're in that type of conversation, like I said, all you got to do is be present to you. And just start talking really good about yourself, feeling the love of what you are. Never bring down and drag down what's around. Because when you're doing that, all that's going to be doing is it's going to be caving in on yourself. Because remember, that everything that's around you is a reflection of yourself anyways. So when you're in those type of situations, just go ahead and just back it up a little bit. See if you got your pocket to go ahead and just drop your 2 cents. And, like certain conversations, you might see me rambling like a monkey in a tree. Forrest Gump analogy. And then other ones, you might see me just poof, like I have, just quiet. And my presence will be there and they'll be like, you don't really talk much, do you? And it's just like when somebody's saying that, so you just want to hear me say something. And when I'm going with that, it's just like I know, that's just me in this conversation. So I just always put it into the, situation of just who I am. This conversation had nothing to do with me. If you want to talk about Jesus Christ and aliens and other things, I'm here for you. But certain times, there's just things that we can't, vibrate with. And when you come to somebody that's, saying that you're shy, shy. And like Rocky Balboa says, hey, yo, some people think shyness is a sickness, but it don't bother me none, you know? Remember when I'm giving you a Rocky reference, you know me, man. He's running with Adrian on the ice, and he's like, you know, like he's talking about, yo, yeah, my father never told me I ain't got much of a mind. So he told me I better develop my body, you know? And then Adrian's like, well, my mom said the exact opposite, that I ain't got much of a body, so I better develop my mind. Hey, yo, we make a pretty good couple of coconuts. I'm dumb and you're shy, you know what I mean? We're like my turtles, Cuff and Link. Absolutely. I know I had to get a quick analogy in, and you know what we're all about. If I'm getting you smiling, I'm doing something right. The smile is divine, and it's made inside the mind. And when we're going with this flow, I'm letting you know that any type of conversation that somebody's calling you shy, it's a reflection of where you're at and at that particular time. But don't be, you know, don't get all worried about it. Don't let it drown you is all I'm saying. There's billions of people out there, and, you know, everybody's got a room that you can entertain. And at that particular moment, as long as you're being present to who you are, you're doing something beautiful. You're holding that moment. And when we go with that flow, something very simple that I like to say, you know, I always go with the love. And it's like, you know, like I always got to come from here, man. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Anytime, even when I'm not in a conversation, but especially when you're in a conversation where you might feel like you're the shy one or whatever, you really got to bring that love and just intend on everybody around you, wherever you happen to be. Like I say, if you see somebody, you know, on the TV, even hear somebody on the phone, wherever you happen to be, just intend on that person, that soul, to feel beautiful, feel some love in some kind of way, and you go along your way, and you're doing something beautiful. You're hacking the matrix. You're doing something magic. And when you're doing that, you're really making your presence known. And that's really what we're getting at here with the whole confidence and how that can help you grow. And, you know, like we're going to talk a little bit about, you know, some liquid courage or whatever. And, you know, me, usually I got a beer or something or some wine. I had a little bit earlier, but right here, right now, I'm just about explaining about what's going down. And some people might say, yeah, you know, they call alcohol liquid courage. You know, some people might smoke a little bit of weed or whatever. And it's like, to me, you know, alcohol, like I say, it's always got that bridge. And you could definitely, you know, break the ice a little bit to get you into your zone of what your flow is. But that's not everybody's flow. And some people don't need that in them to, you know, really let it go. But like I'm saying anyways, you know, some people, they're really good on weed. Me, you know, personally, I took a hiatus from it a little bit. And it's been, you know, it's been working for me. It's just something that I find weed to be inconsistent, and that might just be my experience, but I feel like I smoked enough of it to know that it ain't going with this flow. And, you know, it all has to do with, you know, people grab whatever they get out of it. If you're grabbing magic from it, that's a beautiful thing. Merry Christmas. But to me, I can take a whole bag of weed and roll up, you know, we can roll up, let's say 10 joints and have 1,000 different experiences out of each joint. And it doesn't matter if it's hybrids, sativa, indica, whatever you got to say. I'm just saying that I can smoke half of this one and feel great, smoke a little bit of that one and feel like mush. And to me, it's just always been an inconsistent balance. And that's something that I just don't want in my life. I always feel like with beer and wine, I could have, you know, 4 glasses of wine, 3 glasses of wine, 6 cans of beer. They always feel the same in here. And that might just be the way that I'm going with it. But to me, it always feels a lot more consistent than weed, because I feel a lot of people don't understand it's a mild psychedelic. And, you know, everybody's talking about legalize this, that, and the other. I'm about legalizing all drugs. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, you want to say that I only like plant-based medicines and ayahuasca and this, that. I mean, you know what? There's some man-made magic out there that can make you feel something and make you perform a lot better. That can do more miracles than, you know, or just as much miracles as what you can experience on weed. But like I'm saying anyways, the miracles are within. Because like one of my favorite mantras to say, and something that I always know, something that will always help me flow and let me grow, is I am magic, I am divine, and the universe is on my side. That's something that you can always say when you're in a, you know, type of situation where you're going to need that extra confidence boost to let you get through the flow of what's going on. And like I said, don't get all bent out of shape when somebody just gonna just, you know, attack you with, why are you so quiet? Why are you this and why are you that? Really, it's a reflection of themselves, and it's a reflection of you. And you just gotta let it just pass like two ships in the night, and understand that there's gonna be something beautiful after it. You know what I mean? You ain't gotta let nothing, you know, sink your flow. Just let it go and let it grow. And that's what we're all about here. You know, it's about keeping your flow, keeping your chi, keeping the presence. And, you know, like Montague Chi, one of my favorite, you know, Tao masters that, you know, I preach a lot on this page and this channel about, you know, semen retention, charging your chi, and, you know, other things that I can teach you amongst, you know, in the BCC, you know, where I teach you the masturbation for manifestation, you know, the super edging, the super kegels, the jelking, all these techniques that are beyond me, that are manifested through me, that I can help you become your best version. And like I said, there's essentially no wrong way. We can formulate something to your own flow, which can definitely help you grow. So make sure that you're getting at me where I can definitely help you out in your manifestation of what you're looking for. But what we're going about here is something about, you know, keeping your confidence high and making yourself feel beautiful, because there's no reason that you should feel ashamed to be alive, man, because you have purpose. If you're in a conversation that you just happen to be in, and it's just like, what are you gonna do? You're already there. You already have a reason for being there. So the best thing that you can do is just intend on everybody around you to feel loved, to feel beautiful, and start talking up about yourself. Because when you start loving yourself, you start loving everybody else. Don't get down on anything that's around. Just start building yourself up, and that's going to definitely change the whole matrix of the conversation you're in. I guarantee it every time. And when you do get to that pocket where somebody might be like, well, you never talk, or this and that, maybe that gives you that opportunity to go ahead and steer, you know, to drop a gear, pop the clutch, granny shift, and not double clutching like you should. Vin Diesel, Dominic Toretto, you know what we're saying. We're talking about, you know, changing the conversation at any given time is the power that you have. So you can, like, if somebody's talking about sports and, you know, TPS reports and things that you have no frame of reference, Donnie, you know what I'm saying? You can go ahead and just change that conversation and maybe talk about animals, talk about something that you know about, talk about love. You could talk about anything that can just change the mode. And if you ain't got anything to just say, just go ahead and just let it flow. Just, you know, just let it go. And I promise you, something will come into your light to let everything just be expressed. And that's one of the best ways that we can go with confidence. And you got to understand that you are magic, you are divine. And when we're going with this flow, you know I got to grow. So I'm going to tell you about the mind and muscle connection. We're talking about Paramahansa Yogananda, the guy that brought yoga to the West. The guy that wrote that book that Steve Jobs read and had it in his iPad before he passed, giving us a message, talking about the magic we have within. Don't forget one of the most important, beautiful things that Steve Jobs said. If anybody, the people that think they're crazy enough to change the world are the ones that do. And Paramahansa Yogananda, we're talking about you. We're talking about the mind is the wielder of muscle. So it has nothing to do with how many sets that you're lifting, how much weight that you're pushing, how many times that you're doing it. All that matters is putting your mind into the size, letting you know that you grow, and understand this flow. Understand if you want to get one last rep in, anytime you're at the gym, anytime that you're pushing it, go ahead and say this with me. If you want to feel this, if you believe it, you just say, I am magic, I am divine, and I can increase my size. Oh yeah, it's a beautiful thing. You see that flow, you see that grow. I can grab energy at any given time because it's always in the air. And I'm sweating in a chair, naked, feeling the growth, feeling the flow. You gotta love that, man. It's a beautiful thing. And every time I do that, Detroit Rock City, wintertime, I can still get my blood boiling, still get the veins going, still get the body growing, still get the spirit flowing, growing, knowing that I'm doing something right. And I'm showing you guys that the magic is within. And it doesn't matter about, you know, snorting for it, jabbing a vein for it. All that matters about is unlocking the secrets within. It's about putting you on a steroid cycle from the divine. We're not talking about just going down the street and getting you Trenbolone, Deca, Macedon, whatever you want to call it, whatever the next one's called. I'm just saying it's not about having that crutch. It's about releasing what's in here. And I'm not disagreeing with science, but I don't disagree with magic. And I understand that if you want to contact Hercules, Priapus, all these gods, Zeus, they are within, and you got to just unlock what you have, believe in what you are, and understand that you can do essentially miracles and believe in what you got. And that's what we're going with today. We got the ho grow. We got a lot of beautiful things coming along the way. It's the winter solstice today, the longest night of the year, and I'm feeling, a lot of cheer. Had me a couple beers, ate me a full pizza. Feeling extra beautiful tonight, and that's a beautiful reason to be excited, and definitely sharing some, some matrix hacks about, teaching people how to grab energy and how to just not get lost in a conversation. And that's another thing that I'm just showing you right there. Like, you see how I could just pump up like that? I'm not saying that you're going to have to get pumped like that in a conversation, but essentially when, there's energies over here, yik-yakking about whatever. Yickety-yak, don't talk, but you know what I mean? If you got people over here just talking about whatever, and it could be like they might as well be speaking another language, you know what I mean? And you might not have a frame of reference in that conversation, but there might always be a pocket for you to enter, and if there ain't, you're always coming with the love anyways, and you're adding your presence and your value by being there and being who you are. Because if you have no other if you have a reason for being there, you're going to have to be there, and just giving the love is enough. Just remember that you are enough. You are beautiful. There's no reason that you got to jump through a hoop to impress somebody that's around you. Just relax and understand that whenever you're hearing a reflection of being shy or whatever, it's really on them, and it's also on yourself, because it's a two-way, three-way, four-way, whatever you want to call this, man. There's so many different levels and directions, and you got to take ownership of everything, and that's where you can let it go to let it flow, and that's what we're going with today. Of course, you got the holiday the holiday grow flow, and you know what I mean. A lot of people with the whole, I was at Starbucks earlier, believe it or not, coffee time, and I was reading the cup, and it said Merry Coffee, and I'm like, Merry Coffee? I'm like, I thought it said Merry Christmas, and it's like letting you know that certain people don't agree with the terminology of Merry Christmas, because being born in America was forced down us, and that's like kind of like an American tradition, and now they're trying to do away with that or whatever. But I don't feel like it should be offensive to anybody, you know what I mean? But to each their own. Like, if you want to get offended over Christmas, I mean, that's on you. But like Rocky Balboa says, I understand that Christmas, it ain't all sunshine and rainbows, And I believe that some people might not have the best experience around the holidays, but I just always feel like there's always something beautiful to grab onto, so you can either embrace it or waste it. And that's why, like, you could just, let go and just let it flow, and understand that if you got to be at a store or whatever and you see all this stuff, and that's like I said, like, I'm even looking on Netflix and it doesn't say Christmas movies or anything. Like, I'm like, why? Like, it's kind of, it's a little like, okay, you see the direction that things are going. It doesn't stop me from flowing, but it lets me know that, we're going in another direction, another light. And I always see that there's a brighter side to everything. And, if you want to say Merry Christmas, that's on you. Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah. I say Shalom L'Chaim. Whatever you got to do to make yourself feel something, that's what it's all about. And, Merry Coffee, hey, you know what, we can go with that too. But like I say, it's all about the intentions behind the words anyways. It has nothing to do about the phrase. And, I can have a whole conversation about flow words and, why people say certain things and how, how terminologies change. But one thing that doesn't, and it has to do with the presence that's underneath the conversation, and that's love. And that's why you don't have to say anything. And when you're in those moments where people are saying that you're being shy or whatever, you're not. You're being present, and you're saying, you know, you're telling yourself that you love yourself. You're intending on everybody to feel beautiful. You're intending on everybody to feel love. And like I said, put it in your own words to let you know, to understand however your flow goes. Because like I say, the intention is where it's at anyways. So whatever you got to say to make people feel good, to feel beautiful, you go ahead and you say that, and you make sure you're talking confidently about yourself. That's why I always say, like, if somebody's just rambling off about this, that, or the other, be like, I feel beautiful. Because this way it lets you stay engaged to who you are. Because like I say, we're all from the stars. And, you know, like one of my famous quotes, man, we might all live on the same planet, but we're all from different worlds, man. And as long as your world's coming with love, coming with energy, you can do no wrong. If you happen to be in a moment where you can't say everything that's on your mind, understand that you're doing enough just by being present. You'll find your flow to let you grow, and that's what this was about today, man. It's about the holidays. There's going to be plenty more beautiful experiences that come. You might have to do some Ho'oponopono to really you know, let yourself cure some stuff with your family members over this holiday. And maybe I feel like I'll say the 4 magical phrases before I go. If you ever find yourself in a position where, you know, you're having like just whatever type of thought about somebody, like whether it's especially if it's negative or whatever, just, you know, always understand that it's a two-way street, and go ahead and say these 4 magical phrases to just go ahead and change it. Because what it is, essentially, it's a Hawaiian practice which, you know, cured people that were in a psych ward. And this doctor, you know, he read all these names on a list. He said these 4 magical phrases, and essentially he cured their mental illness. Now, whatever this has to do with is if you're in a situation where you're thinking, you got previous thoughts about somebody, this is definitely a game changer for whenever you got to go see like a family member or whatever. It's going to help put you in that state of neutrality. So what I got to say is, to help you out, is you just say, I am sorry, because you gotta say, I am sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. That's what the flow is. That's what's going to help you grow, because you always got to say that you're sorry. You got to take ownership. You got to say, please forgive me, because you got to ask for forgiveness. You got to say thank you, because gratitude's the attitude. And I love you, because that's what we're always coming with. We're always coming with love. So you can always practice the Ho'oponopono. I'll give you that one more time. You know, you can rewind it if you want. You just say, I am sorry. Please forgive me. Ask for that forgiveness. You say thank you, because gratitude's the attitude. And I love you, because you always got to come with love. And you just say that over and over and over. And you're going to change the whole matrix of where you're at. You're going to change your perspective. You're going to change you're going to change what's in here. Because like I say, if you want beauty to appear, you got to keep this clear. And this is going to help shut down any previous wires that are already there, especially with family. Because, you know, your family installed some triggers that might be, that they might know how to push. But you got the master reset in here. And like I said, man, you got the power to keep it clear. You have the power to keep it present. You have the power to spread love. You are magic. We are divine. We can increase our size. The universe is on our side. Let's be the giants that we are. Let's understand we have the head in the clouds. We're not worried about the little gremlins at our feet. We're talking about that huge piece of meat slapping at our knees, striving to the pecs, making us our best. Give it a kiss. How you doing? We ain't worried about stomping on, your friend's house. We're not going to stomp on your friend's house, but you know what I mean. We're talking about spreading love and positivity, just having that gratitude attitude, being a big giant, huge giant of love, and just spreading love along the way. Being confident, that's what this is about in the whole grow. So make sure we're going to have, like I said, we got plenty more beautiful experiences to come. You can follow me. We're going to have a super lit Christmas. So go ahead and get on my, the social media. Go see my cat C, my, couple Pekingeses, my wolf and my bear are always there. Since we're talking Salvation Army, you know how we do. If you want to donate, I got a wish list. But like I said, you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. If you're around and you happen to see, so you want to put $1 in a bucket, do it because you like the gift. Don't do it for any other reason than that. And with that, just want to tell you guys I love you guys and intend on you guys to feel beautiful, feel the magic, understand we're love, we're divine. I'll see you around. Peace.